Hi, I'm Kim. I don't know why I'm being so silly right now. Let's try here. Hi, I'm Kim. Hi, I'm Kim. Hi, I'm Kim. So let me check and make sure. Okay, the mic is on. The mic is on. All right. So this is the thing. I took a little hiatus, okay, from this YouTube life. And I um I had to figure some things out. It was a lot going on. So for those of you that have been rocking with me from the beginning, I jumped onto the YouTube scene in 2022 when I started telling my story of extreme racial trauma in Pennsylvania while working with an organization called Chester County Intermediate Unit. And I burst up out here because I was like, people need to know about what's happening in school improvement, what's happening in our education system, what is happening, because this is egregious. And I feel like we're seeing a lot of that playing out right now in the current. Today is September 18th, 2024, and the state of education and the state of the world, let me not even go world, the state of the United States of America, wild. All right. I live in Medellin, Colombia. I left the US in October of 2021, and I left to find healing. I left the US on medication for depression and anxiety, PTSD. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I have been on this journey to find healing and to really understand what freedom looks like and sounds like for me. And during that time, as I was discovering freedom and such, I made it here to Colombia after living in Mexico. And I took a job assignment, a really great job opportunity to return back to the US and conduct an interview with Dr. Joy from Therapy for Black Girls. And it was a beautiful experience. It was something that I had dreamed of. I really admire Dr. Joy. I admire what she has built over at Therapy for Black Girls. And it was a beautiful opportunity for me to be able to meet her and share space with her and the like. And I did that. And also, while I was on that trip, I experienced a series of events that reminded me about who the US is and the reason why I left. And that experience caused a triggering event that led to a mental health crisis on July 25th of 2023, last year. And a lot has happened since even then. I had to go back to Mexico City for a while, and I was able to return back here to Colombia in February. And really understanding that a few things. I learned that I'm neurodivergent. So I learned that it was not just the anxiety, depression, PTSD that was causing or that makes my brain function differently. It's also being ADHD, having OCD, and also being autistic. And it's been interesting. It's been a very interesting journey of accepting these pieces of myself and understanding what I can do to put some respect on my brain and really allow my brain to be the beautifully gifted operation that it really is, instead of trying to get my brain to operate like other people's brains. And my brain ain't gonna do that because my brain doesn't work like that. So, this vlog that you are about to watch is about my journey to understanding my neurodivergence and what that has looked like and sounded like for me. I do want to give some warnings and caveats to anybody who is finding me right now today. All right. First of all, I be cussing. All right. It's important for you to know that because sometimes I be cussing and it's all right. Okay. I be cussing. So if that, whatever that means to you, do with that what you will. All right. The other thing is I am very transparent in my sharing and I allow myself to experience my emotions when they come up and I don't try to suppress them. I wasn't allowed to feel when I was a child, and I just learned how to feel when I turned 40, and I'm currently 43. So I may cry, and it's okay because you'll also see me move through those emotions and continue processing what's going on. The last thing that I wanted to say was I'm an auntie, okay? And I'm just now getting to the point of embracing this content creation thing, even though I've been working on the internet for a long time, but I just it's been a process, all right? So I'm embracing that, okay. But also a lot of these videos y'all gonna watch, they gonna be on the vertical on my phone. All right, because I found myself struggling and finding excuses to not do this. And one of those excuses was, well, it's awkward to look at my phone that way and whatever. And I just felt like it was more important to capture the information than it was to format it properly. Now, what I'm going to tell you is you hang in here with me. Okay, we're going to start getting more of these. All right, where it could fill up your TV screen. It's real nice. It's real pretty. But well, from whence we have come, okay, they are not in that orientation. So I'ma just ask you to just understand, okay, auntie is getting it together. I got me a team now. All right. So we moving in the right direction. So anyway, having said that, I want to know what y'all think. I really want to hear from other people who are realizing that they're neurodivergent or people that have questions. I really want to hear from you all so that you and we and folks can really start processing this and accepting and embracing ourselves for who we are. All right. All right. I think that's it. All right. Bye. Hi. So it's been a while. Um it's like I don't know, 7 o'clock. And it's a Saturday. And I have been doing nothing all day. And I mean absolutely nothing. Hold on. It was just raining like crazy. So I had to like hurry up and close all the windows because when it rains here, it'll rain in one direction and then it comes back the other direction. So it was at like the turn, so I had to hurry up because if not, when it comes back, all the rain will be coming into the house. And then that is a project, and I did not want that project. So it has calmed down a little bit. But um, today has been interesting. Actually, I think the past few days, I don't know. So I'm in this weird space where I am supposed to be giving myself time off, but at the same time knowing that there are all these things that I need to do. And it is very conflicting because it makes my brain kind of go back and forth and never forward, never backward, just right here. So I feel like I've kind of been stuck in that loop for the past couple days. So I'm trying to break myself out of that and like kind of shake it back together. Um, so I haven't vlogged, I haven't journaled, I haven't, my routines are off. And I remember my therapist. So I have a psychologist and I have a therapist. And my psychologist is in Mexico. And I started seeing her when I realized that I was neurodivergent and all of that because I wanted to get a formal diagnosis. If you have watched any type of videos, social media content, TikToks about self-diagnosis, a lot of times people who don't know, I have to get my phone stand because I actually am supposed to be cooking dinner and I can't do that with the phone in my hand. So oh, there it is. So I want to multitask. Okay. But a lot of the conversations, did I open them? I did. Okay. A lot of the conversations are about self-diagnosis and the validity of self-diagnosis. And I'm someone who often says self-diagnosis is valid. Like, it is so valid. I'm not a psychologist, but also psychologists say that self-diagnosis is valid because you live with yourself. So you know yourself and you know when things seem different or seem outside of how holistics is the word that I've learned that we're supposed to use in order to describe people who are not on the spectrum, who are not neurodivergent. Okay, hopefully I'm connected and hopefully you can hear me because I'm supposed to be being productive because I do need to eat. But so what was I saying? So self-diagnosis. So you live with yourself, like you know when things are off. So what had happened with me is I was seeing my therapist who specializes in trauma from July, no, maybe August, September or so. It was a few times I saw her, maybe up through December. I feel like I don't know if I've talked to her in the new year. So my brain is fighting because I don't know why I'm going down this path, but I'm gonna follow it and just trust that my brain people will bring me back. That's what that pause was about. But anyway, so I was seeing my therapist, but she was also $150 every time. Okay, so mind you, I haven't worked for real since July, August of last year. So that was a dent in cost. But also during that time in October is when I started to realize I was running out of money. And then I had written a letter to my people and I was like, listen, nah, your girl is spending, nah, come on. Which I have so many things that are recorded that I haven't released about this, and I really want to because I think it's important for people to understand how burnouts and spirals and how somebody's life can really feel like it's crashing and burning and all of that. So I really want to figure out the best way to package that
because I do believe that is where my freedom lies and where a lot of people's freedom lies, is in this story of what happened to me that I'm kind of glossing over and leaving a whole lot of stuff out because it's just so much and too much to explain right now. But anyway, so during that time, I had written a letter to a circle of people, and I basically was like, I'm out of money. There's nothing left at all. So I need help. And unfortunately, the most, I don't know how to label it or describe it. The most, the best way that they could think of to help was to ask me to come back to the U.S. And I had to explain that that wasn't something that I could do. And that was a very interesting series of events around all of that. So I'll have to unpack that some other day. But so this is how I wound up in Mexico, because I was talking to someone that I thought was my friend, and she had offered for me to stay with her, because she understood and what have you. And then I'm gonna say this, but then I'm also just gloss over it. And then she tried to kill me. So in between that time that I just described, from October to February, I also realized that the way I view the world seems to be very different, and it seems to really, really align with all of this research that I had done about neurodivergence. So I had started asking myself questions like, okay, like, am I? Like, how long have I felt like I was presenting or performing, or how much effort did I have to put into, like, time, for instance, because I have time blindness, and I will, if I allow myself, I will just be frolicking and doing whatever, just like right now. But see, I'm being purposeful. But I'll be doing whatever. Like, I believe in a good brain field trip, so I'll lose time. So I would be hyper, like, focused and have alarms and reminders, and, you know, always be 30 minutes early, so then you don't have to wear the shame of being late. Like, it was all sorts of things. Even as I'm talking about it, I'm like, Jesus, that was a lot. So anyway, I started asking myself all those questions, and I was like, maybe I am neurodivergent. Maybe it's not just, because I would always say things like I have ADHD tendencies or stuff like that, but also my understanding of what those words meant were so different, and it was based in what it looked like in a middle school white boy. You know, because those are the people who these types of tests and how do I want to call it? These type of people that run the studies, the people that are part of studies, they didn't look like us, right? And they definitely didn't look like me. So my idea, even as an educator, of what these words meant, ADHD, ADD, autistic, like all of that, just everything I thought I knew, I had to refigure out. So I was going through that process, and because also I was in Mexico, and I really, really struggled with the bathroom there, and it was bad. Like I got showers down to, I think I was able to be in and out of the bathroom in 5.5 minutes. And that included brushing my teeth, taking a shower, and getting out. Like being done with the bathroom in 5.5 minutes. It's kind of how I had, oh God, I'm getting so much anxiety just talking about it right now. Whew. So during that time, one of my friends has said, because I think I was talking about the bathroom, and I was like, it's hard. I'm like, this is hard. And the same friend was the same person who had pointed out my issue with the floors and bathrooms. And they had said, the floor is lava. And this is one time we were in the bathroom, and then in the shower, I never wanted to step on the drain. So like they noticed, right? So I was like, okay, fine, whatever, like fine. So anyway, so I'm telling them about, and they also have an extremely good memory, so they hold on to all this stuff. So I was telling them about it, and they were like, have you ever read Howie Mandel's book? And I forget the name of it right now, but I said, no, and I probably should. So if you know anything about Howie Mandel, he lives with OCD. And a lot of times, like now, he's made it a joke, where he laughs about it and like all of that, and it's funny, but also he's very serious. I think the name of the book is like, Here's the Deal, Don't Touch Me, or something like that. So at the time I had Audible. So, and I was reading, I had just finished reading or listening to Jada Pinkett Smith's book. What's the name of it? I can't remember right now. But her her memoir is so good. Like so good. So I just finished listening to that. So I was like, no, I said, but I think I should. So I turned on I went to the intro, and it was maybe 5 minutes long, and I was in tears. I'm talking uncontrollable. I'm getting probably a lot emotional right now. Talking about this, because I haven't talked about this, but uncontrollable emotions. I was just like, this is my life. Like, this is what it feels like to be in my life. This is what it feels like. So I messaged my friend back, and I said, I have OCD. And I was like, and I think it might be some other things that are happening. And what's so interesting is, so my therapist, I was telling her how much I was struggling with the bathroom. And she was like, we had done an activity. So she specializes in, I don't know why this is what I need to talk about today, but here we are. She specializes in EMDR, and it's called eye movement desensitization, I think reprocessing. And she had done an activity with me because I was like, I'm struggling with the bathroom. Like, it's really, really, really hard. Really, it was so hard. And I would have to, like, she taught me how to do somatic exercises to like move the energy through my body. So like every time I would have to like jump up and down and like do like a whole bunch of stuff to try to move enough of the nervous energy out of my body so I could get in and get out of this bathroom. So she did an exercise with me, and in the exercises, like, you have to go back to the place, and there's a lot of trauma that's happened in my life in the bathroom at the hands of my mother. So I realized that, right? So that was going on. And then the OCD of it all, right? So I had to switch over from my therapist to a psychologist because I was like, I have to understand like what's going on, because this is a lot, that's coming up, and I don't know how to deal with this, like, and how do I process this, and what kind of accommodations do I need, and like, this is a lot. So it's so crazy how God works. The main reason, like, I had stayed ties in Mexico is because I had my braces. So I had a dentist appointment, and I was winding up seeing her more often, and I think she did that on purpose. I'm gonna have to ask her. She was so worried about me because I was in a really, really, really bad place in Mexico. Mexico was hard. Mexico was really hard. But I had told her what was going on, and I said, I need a psychologist, and I don't know how to find one. I said, because there's a lot, like, I got to figure out how to process all of this. So she was like, she said, okay. She said, I think I know somebody that I can ask. So maybe the next day or 2 days later, she calls me and she said, one of her patients is a psychologist, and she works with a psychologist who speaks English. And that's how I got connected to my psychologist and started the process of understanding my brain, because it's so layered. Like, there's so many layers of trauma and not being understood and not being heard and not being loved and not being cared for, right? And this is a theme that's happened. So anyways, so my psychologist is helping me to unpack all of that. Now, I'm not sure why I went down that road. I clearly needed to, though. But also, this is what I want to say, because back to self-diagnosis. Even if I had not gotten to my psychologist, there is enough information on the internet from reputable sources. There are assessments, and that's probably why I am obsessed with assessments. Like, when I tell you I love an assessment, because I be trying to understand, who am I? Who am I? And you know something? Let me put that on the parking lot right quick. Who am I? I'm gonna be back to that. But there are enough resources for someone who has been asking themselves questions their entire life to be able to confidently say, I might not know how much it is, what percentage it is, and what percentage of that, and what percentage go here and there and wherever else, but what I do know is that's me. For instance, like, I don't necessarily feel like I need the labels. What the labels do for me is they give me information for strategies that are most effective. But the thing with neurodivergence is it overlaps. Like, it's a lot of overlap, right? So nothing is all or nothing. It's like, some of it you identify with, some of it you don't. But I want to list these labels, right? So I grew up in a traumatic home, being abused, being treated as a trophy, but not being protected. I was denied an opportunity to have a relationship with my father. There's a blog post about this, but my father, my biological father, what I have been told, because I have not seen an article and my mother won't talk about it. What I was told is that my biological father committed suicide before I was born. I learned this at the age of 25 or 24. It was in 2005. It's a lot that happened that summer. I don't even know if I've really written about all of that because it was a lot. But that was a moment where I stopped talking to my mother, where I stopped talking to my family because they supported her fuckery. And I didn't talk to them for a very long time. And Hurricane Katrina happened after that. I had even sent money to my stepdad, who is my dad, so I'm going to backtrack to that. But I had sent money to my dad, and my mother called me to thank me. But I can't even... The money wasn't for her. Okay, I'm gonna have to tell that story another day, another time. It was a lot. It was a lot. But the reason I bring it up is the trauma, right? Okay, so that's the story with my dad. Then with my father. So my dad, my stepdad, who entered my life when I was 5. We never had a relationship until I went away to college because my entire childhood, my mother accused him of molesting me even though he hadn't. And also married him and also was just abusive to all of us in the house. It was just a lot. It was a lot. So that was my childhood. Okay. Then I'm just adding the neurodivergence because what I want you to know is that trauma changes your brain. Trauma changes your brain because there were certain things that I had to do in order to stay safe. There was a certain way that I had to show up in order to stay alive because I really believed that my mother would have killed me and been like, oops. And I'm not saying that to laugh. I'm dead ass serious. All puns intended. So that's how I grew up, right? So that's that. But then because of the fact that I could never go home and that just wasn't a safe place, I wound up in situations along the way that caused additional trauma, right? Okay. So now we fast forward, abusive relationship, more trauma. Why? Because he acted just like my mama. It was so familiar. It was so familiar. So was locked in that for 13 years total. Okay, so after that, let's fast forward to, okay, I'm gonna leave Tampa. I'm gonna leave Tampa. I'm gonna leave the school district. I get a new job, get fired from the new job because a school board member had a vendetta out on me because I had been advocating for my children. Again, you can Google all of this. Okay, so I lose my job. So now I don't have a job. My dog dies. Okay, so I lost my job the Monday before Thanksgiving. My dog died December 12th. I don't think I went outside again until December 31st to pick up a check. And it's how I got involved in all the election policy, all the politics of 2020, that I'm gonna just say that was a lot, and they never really told them stories. Okay, I'm just trying to give you a little overview. Okay, so COVID happens. I decide to leave Florida. I get to Pennsylvania. I experience everything I've experienced in Pennsylvania. Again, copious amounts of videos about that. I'm diagnosed with depression, anxiety, placed on medication. Okay. Relentless bullying and harassment. Relentless. And fast forward, I leave the country, right? I have a nervous breakdown. I have a mental health crisis. I experience extreme burnout. I run out of money. I have to go to Mexico. I realize I have OCD and ADHD, right? So Imagine. And I don't even, my psychologists don't even know all of that, because we haven't even gotten to all of that. And nor have I been able to talk to my therapist again, because $150 a pop. So the reason I listed all that out is because, one, it's a lot. And there's so much that be happening, and people see the highlight reel, but there's so much that be happening behind the scenes. And I literally just, all of that I just talked about, this could be a real life Netflix series with several seasons to really unpack all of this stuff. Like I really, but that's why I just laid it out just right quick, just so you could be like, wait, what and what and what, God, and look, what is what? So I knew that I needed something. I was like, I need somebody to help me understand, because wow, like this, how am I still here? And I used to say that all the time. I used to be like, I should be crazy. Like, I should be crazy. I should have lost my mind by now. How am I still here? You know, and that's what started making me like go down the path of thinking about my purpose, because there's got to be for me to sign up for this life, child, it's got to be something amazing at the end, because baby, it's got to be something amazing at the end, because this life that I have lived, so anyway, I need y'all's help. I'm gonna pause right here because I do need to figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner. I need y'all's help. I need your help getting people invested in my story. I need you to be sharing my story when you are out and about. I need you to be talking to people about the things that you have learned and have discovered. I need y'all's help, because what I know is if the right person hears, doors will open. I know that. I need y'all's help, because 6 degrees of separation is a real thing. And I believe I'm probably about 2 degrees of separation from being able to not have to continue to stuff myself in boxes for the sake of being able to take care of myself. So thanks for listening. I'm about to run out of storage on my phone, so I'm gonna go ahead on and get this uploaded to the YouTubes for my Patreon, and maybe might even put a clip out on social media. Make sure you're following me, Minding My Black Ass Business, on all platforms, because that's all we be trying to do. And then the world. I love y'all. Thanks. Bye.